Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I'm going to take you guys step by step through what I'm thinking about and what I'm doing during some Rogue Mage 2s. We're just playing skirmishes here. Rating isn't super high because there is no rating, but what I want to get you guys in the mindset of is exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing each thing. So this video might be really helpful for someone who's beginning their PvP journey and doesn't really know exactly the reasons behind each step. Now, if you're very, very experienced, this video might go under your head. Is that a saying? And might be a little bit too are you? But I think a lot of people will enjoy this video as well. So right off the bat, target and focus the mage. We're playing Rogue Mage, fighting Devil Mage. And we kind of want to kill the Fire Mage because Arcane is very, very difficult to kill, as you'll see here in a second, right? So we're targeting and focusing this guy. He's going invis, so I'm matching that invis and going invis myself. And now we kind of just wait, right? We can't see the mages. They can't see us. It's going to be kind of a waiting game until one of us decides to come out. So we wait about 10 seconds. That's kind of like the meta game when it's mage versus mage, because whoever comes out last has the advantage, right? Because we can get the sap onto them. However, my rogue actually gets found by the enemy mage, and they throw out the Dragon's Breath and cast that polymorph with the mass invisibility. So we still can't see them because of that mass invisibility. However, I still have 1 second left on my invis. So top priority right as this game starts, and when I say starts, I mean people come out of invis, is target one, focus the other. That's going to be targeting the Fire Mage, focusing the Arcane Mage, right? We're going to throw out a counterspell onto something like a polymorph, and we're going to try to line of sight damage from the other person, and then we're going to get damage rolling. We're going to throw out that Comet Storm, the Ice Nova, the Orb, stuff like that once my rogue actually gets that stun. So let's see how this goes here in a second. Targeting the Fire Mage there, trying to AoE that Arcane Mage out. We have the Arcane Mage there onto the focus. Actually, we focused the Fire Mage, so we're probably going to swap the focus here in a sec. There we go. We swap the focus to the Arcane Mage, and we're targeting the Fire Mage. He actually got that sap on the Arcane Mage, which was pretty awesome sap. I focus Spell Steal, that arcane power, off of the Arcane Mage, so I can actually burst a little bit harder. That's going to give me extra damage, and I'm going to Comet Storm Ice Nova potentially here. There's the Comet Storm and the Ice Nova and that Orb. We get a ton of damage onto the Fire Mage. He is forced to block, and the Cauterize is procced as well. So I really want to note my positioning, actually, these last couple seconds. Volts, the Arcane Mage, is casting Polymorph. I do have Counterspell for it. I'm not going to counterspell him instantly, though. I'm going to see if he fakes. I'm also just going to try to line of sight the polymorph instead of counterspelling it, but I have that counterspell if I need it. Now the mage came out, so I want to start running this way, so I am towards the Fire Mage, but lining the Arcane Mage, right? So these are all the things you want to kind of watch out for. That's where I run right here, kind of line of sighting Arcane and towards Fire. So all of your movement is definitely on purpose here. There's the kidney shot out on the Arcane Mage. Could have followed that up with a polymorph, but I kind of just chase this guy. The full blind comes out. Trinket on, Trinket sap onto Volts there. Very, very unfortunate. A lot of damage coming into Care Bear now. Start channeling that Ray of Frost because it does go through pillars. I was like, if this guy keeps running and running around, channel that Ray of Frost, get some damage onto him, but I do get interrupted. Now, since I got interrupted in Frost, I can immediately start casting Arcane, right? Because Arcane and Frost are different schools, so we should throw out the polymorph onto the other mage. It's actually very, very short here, but we do manage to get the kill. So yeah, a lot of these just targeting this guy, focusing this guy, doing this for this reason, line of sighting here for this reason. A lot of this stuff, sometimes I kind of just assume people know and kind of just do it without saying, but in this video specifically, I really want to break down all of those small little things. Now, this is why we didn't kill the Arcane Mage, is because they are pretty much invincible. They take a talent called Mage Armor. I made a video on it actually, where you can just spam Prismatic Barrier, aka Mage Armor, over and over and over with no cooldown. And it's very actually hard to kill them, right? Because it counts as healing, that they pretty much just keep healing themselves up and up and up. We're gonna actually skip through the rest of this video because this guy was being a little Arcane Mage. There it is. There's a damage breakdown. If you see the Arcane Mage healing, 274,000 healing from Volt. So that's why we actually decided to not go on the Arcane Mage, but did manage to take that W. Alright guys, in this next matchup, we're on Ruins of Lordaeron, fighting an Affliction Warlock and a Sub-Rogue. Affliction Warlock's one of their weaknesses right now is they just take a ton of damage, so that's going to be the main target priority for the opener at least. We're going to want to open on the Warlock, but the thing is, on the off-target guys, you want to set them to focus all the time, right? And that's going to increase awareness. You're going to be able to see their buffs, you're going to be able to see their debuffs, you're going to be able to see if they're stealth, not stealth, all that kind of thing. It's very, very important. Right away, set that rogue to my focus. Now he does go stealth, so when he comes, it resets my focus. When he comes back out of stealth, we're going to reset that focus as soon as possible. We're going to open up onto this warlock here, probably in a second, and immediately, here's my opener. I'm Comet Storming paired with the Pet Nova, so that all of the Comets are going to get the Shatter bonus and Critical Strike to do a lot of damage. And we're going to pair that with the Ice Nova. Now, I could probably hold my Orb. The reason I would not want to Orb is because if my Rogue opened, and then the Rogue opened on my Rogue, and then I Orb, then my Rogue all of a sudden can't blind. I can't peel with Polymorph because the Orb's just going to break it, right? So I actually, a lot of the times, don't like to open with Orb because it kind of limits our options. Instead, I like to do the second go with Orb a lot of the times. Now that they're separated, I could maybe do an Orb, but you just want to keep that thing in mind. Now, Rogue opened with the Cheap Shot onto me. This is double DPS versus double DPS. There's no reason to really hold cooldowns, right? It's not like healer DPS where you want to trade cooldowns based on certain enemy offensives as much as just you want to rotate through all your defensives before you die, right? So right in this opener, I would want to probably Trinket and Temp Shield. I could Ice Block, but Trinket Temp Shield is kind of good to get that on cooldown. And then maybe like Line of Sight the Rogue, Nova, Line of Sight the Rogue, and continue damage on the Warlock is probably what I would be thinking here. Boom. So Trinket Temp Shield, move away from Rogue, Nova the Rogue, Rogue can't move. Now we force him to vanish, we force him to cloak, we force him to use something, or my Rogue can just open up onto their Rogue. So we're just going to see what happens. My Rogue ends up on their Rogue. I start casting the Frostbolt to gain more Icicles. I can throw my Orb down on their Rogue as well if I want, or I can just channel a Ray of Frost. There we go. So like you have different burst options, right? You have the Comets from the Ice Nova. You have the Orb. You have your Trinket, and you have the Ray of Frost, right? Those are kind of your ways to burst right now as Mage. So since I already used the Comets from the Ice Nova, it's either going to be Ray of Frost or Orb. Now, if I Orb and he Trinkets, we can't blind him, or if I Ray of Frost, we still can. So I don't mind this Ray of Frost at all right now. Another thing to note, I am line of sight of Warlock, so Warlock can't counterspell me. Definitely on purpose here, right? We don't want to be in Warlock line of sight channeling this, or else we can have the chance to get locked out. Continue to line the Warlock. Now, Rogue Cloak vanishes. He's going to be able to sit in stealth as long as he wants, right? Because he cloaked off the Nightblade, and I don't have any bleeds or dots myself. I don't think. I actually have a trait that does a bleed. So if he has that bleed trait on him, he might come out eventually. But we're getting damage out on the Warlock, and we're just stunning him up. Cone Cold to kind of keep him still. The Cone Cold allows us to get that Cheap Shot off. Now I still have the Orb. So this go is probably going to be Orb. First go, Comets from Ice Nova. Second go, Ray. Third go, probably Orb here. I'm just guessing. I don't exactly remember from yesterday. But then as soon as this Rogue opens, we could do a hard swap back. So we'll go ahead and see how this works. I actually get coiled there. Blind comes out. Throw out the Orb, right? They both have no Trinket, and they're both pretty much done so as soon as we can get a little bit more damage. Rogue's off Stun DR in 3 seconds. Warlock pops Wall. So Rogue now becomes the kill target now that he's back out of stealth. We target the Rogue. We immediately see that and target the Rogue. We could throw the focus onto the Warlock here in a second. Or if the focus is not on the Warlock, right? What we do want to keep an eye on is Gladius or S Arena, whichever one you prefer, and keep an eye right here. If the Warlock cast Fear, guess what? We have Counterspell 1, 2, 3 available. In this case, it would be Counterspell 1, and we'd Counterspell the Warlock's Fear if he starts to cast it. So this is where our eyes are at right here in this situation to make sure Warlock is not casting. You could also look over his frame, or if I had my focus set, you could look at the focus. But Rogue's taking a lot of damage. Comet Storm Ice Nova, back off cooldown, it lands, and the Rogue will go down. So yeah, a very, very quick match, right? I mean, essentially, if you just play that at full speed, we won very, very quickly. It was a 1-minute match, but there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes to kind of make a kill like that actually come to action. All right, guys, final game here, Ruins of Lordaeron. We're fighting a Boomy and a DK, different matchup here once again. A lot of the same things you want to keep in mind. You want to start off probably stealth here. So you don't need to start off stealth if you're fighting, say, like, double rogue, for example, because then the double rogue, like, you're just gonna wait out the stealth, you're just wasting 20 seconds. But since we have one target that's not in stealth, we can go stealth to actually set up onto him and get a nice big opener. So that's why we're starting out of stealth here. DK actually does find me. We're gonna throw out the Nova and the Comet Storm and the Ice Nova, most likely here in a second. And I just did the normal Nova because I was in melee range. We set our pet to attack. Boomy is out, so we want to switch that focus to the Boomy. Boom, switch the focus to the Boomy almost immediately to see if he's casting Cyclone. see if he's casting, one thing or another. He does immediately get blinded by my rogue, which is fantastic, and it interrupts his Cyclone cast. We actually did start to cast a Cyclone there just for a second. Since the Boomkin is far away, we can throw out that orb. The Comet Storm, the Ice Nova, it's not going to break any CC at all, and we can just continue to control the Moonkin and do a lot of damage to the DK. Now, here are two options. If the Moonkin trinkets, we could hard swap, pop Icy Veins, and channel the Ray of Frost, or if he trinkets, we can just continue to CC the Moonkin and then do more damage to the Death Knight and actually kill him, since he already used Icebound Fortitude and Anti-Magic Shell. So it's kind of up to us here. Moonkin trinkets. He doesn't have trinket available onto that blind. Now he gets cheap shotted. He's in Moonkin form. I cannot sheep in Moonkin form. So out of this cheap shot, we're going to channel Ring of Frost most likely, right? We're going to cast that Ring of Frost, and we're going to blink away from the DK so we can't actually land that kick. Double blink. So this is actually a pretty complex play here, right? I'm gonna rewind this and show it again. We do the opener. Orb, Comet Storm, Ice Nova. We blind. He trinkets. We cheap shot. We throw the ring down. DK's next to us. He's going to kick if we don't double blink. Throw the ring down, we double blink. Now he's out of range to kick this Ring of Frost. DK can't interrupt it. We're 40 yards away. We land the Ring of Frost. We can't get interrupted. He has no trinket. Moonkin's going to hit this full 8-second Ring of Frost. Now we turn our attention back to the DK. He's in that Ring of Frost. Big shatter combos. He grips us back and he goes down. So once again, very quick game. It's like if you just play this game at full speed, it's 18 seconds long or something. But a lot of things in the back of your mind that are really making a game like this possible. And these are the things I want to get you guys thinking about in your gameplay. When to use certain cooldowns, when to use certain offensives or defensives, or really how to set up these kills. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Talk to me below in the comments about what you think about like really slowing it down and really going on about what I'm thinking about and why I'm using each single global cooldown, or if it's just a little bit too slow and you're like, Xaryu, you can pick up the pace a little bit. Let me know that as well. Guys, thumbs this video down if you didn't like it. Talk to me in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next upload. Peace.